Hello. Here's my audience. Here's my note cards. Number 1, number 2, and number 3. So my speech today is about Orson Scott Card. He's an American author who wrote Ender's Game. It's now a movie, an absolutely $billion plus movie. He's also wrote several other books. The reason he's kind of thrust in the spotlight lately, though, is because he has super controversial viewpoints on gay marriage and several hot button issues. But I wanted to make sure that I didn't watch any speeches of those because I didn't want his analysis of the topic and his thinking on the topic to color my view of his actual speaking. He spoke at several events, major college events like Utah State University, Brigham Young University, University of Virginia. One of the biggest ones that I saw was the TED Talk at Utah State University, where I agree with a lot of what he said, and that helps me be able to analyze him because I can then analyze his delivery and style because I understand what he's talking about and why he's talking about it. So there's a few things that I noticed. First of all, his look, he doesn't really look put together a whole lot, and that affects you as an audience. Secondly, he kind of has it's my way or the highway attitude where he doesn't listen to other people's opinions or use other people's thoughts. He just kind of, here I am, and it's me. Lastly, he's a huge user of note cards to the point where they're not really note cards anymore. They're half pages of notebook paper. So the first thing, his dress and the way he looks, one of the most important elements of establishing credibility is the way you look. He comes out in suits and ties, which is excellent, and what a lot of people do, but that's where the good ends. I mean, in the Utah State University speech, he has on a brown suit and a brown tie, which would look really nice and does look nice. He just wears it 3 sizes too big. And so you kind of notice that, and that colors your thinking. Additionally, he's fidgety. It looks kind of like he's nervous in his own skin, which is understandable. He's not a public speaker, he's an author. He's also a self-proclaimed essayist that's wrote several essays that are pretty big on hot button issues. I didn't read any of those, but they are out there if you want them. Secondly, he hardly ever gives anybody else credit. His speeches are about his family, what he's done, how his kids are great, how everything that he's done is great, and he doesn't really state how he got where he is or anything like that. He's very, very, very analytical to the point where he decries creativity. In one of his speeches, actually, he says that he understands that people color outside the lines, but if you're coloring his coloring book, it better be inside the lines because that's what his coloring book is for. In a speech to Brigham Young University, he actually states that he's kind of amazed that he can write anything he wants to. He's a fiction author. He can write whatever he wants, and there's people that analyze it and catalog that, and some people take it as truth, and that was kind of amazing to him. In his speech at Southern Virginia University, he says the same thing. It seems like, to me, whatever he thinks he's done is the greatest, and he has no one that he really looks up to. This position's super evident in most of his speeches. For the note cards, he doesn't really use 3 note cards like this. He has a whole sheet of paper. You can see a whole bunch of writing on it. It looks more like an outline or an essay than note cards. And he sits there a lot like this, just reading through them and going through them. And then all of a sudden he gets to the point he's at, and he keeps moving on. And like in this class, first thing we were taught is have 3 note cards, big words. You don't need to go like this. You need to look at them, look away, and do your thing. So in conclusion, while he has excellent viewpoints and he's an excellent speaker as far as content, there's a lot lacking in the way that he delivers his speeches. Like I said, if he puts 10% more effort into the way he dresses and the way he looks, that would help a lot. Also, if he brings up the fact that other people have helped him get where he's gotten, that's a lot better. And it sounds better to people. You're not holier than thou and it's my way or the highway. It just sounds better. And finally, just condense the note cards. Get it down into bullet points and go from there. And I kind of feel like on the note card thing, that when he's standing there, he's kind of like this, but when it's on a pulpit or something he's looking at, it's not that big a deal. I think he's a good public speaker with good ideas, but I have a feeling that he's going to be remembered for things that he didn't think he would be remembered for.